Hey everybody, Bobcat here in Art Minds. I promised I would talk about this target a little bit later in an earlier video, and now it's later. I used this target at a training range for a class I was taking to get my Maryland handgun qualifications license. It is the permit that the state of Maryland requires anyone who wants to purchase a handgun to take the classes and do a background check and all that stuff. This is from the first time I'd fired any firearms in like 20 years. Why was I taking a handgun qualification license class, you might ask? Because I intend to buy one. And in the meantime, I bought something else. Let's talk about it. I'm waiting at the Maryland Small Arms Range for a lane to open up. I got here an hour before it opened. There was already a line. It's about an hour after it opened, and this place is totally packed, so maybe a while. But I came here to test out a new purchase. I bought the Ruger Pistol Caliber Carbine rifle in 9mm. It fires 9mm pistol bullets. I also got a Firefield reflex sight, red dot sight to go on the top of that. I'm going to try it on and off the rifle, see how that goes. And I bought a couple of extra magazines so that I don't have to sit there and reload everything all the time. Whoa! Time out. Didn't you used to be very anti-gun for a very long time? What's up with that? Yes, it's true. For a very long time, I was pretty anti-gun. I thought nobody but the military and maybe the police should have firearms for any real reason. And I thought that pretty strongly. And, you know, I was wrong. I was very wrong. I've been giving it a lot of critical thought as best I can, and watching what's going on in the news and in the world with the pandemic, the uniqueness of our election, and it became pretty clear to me that the polite society that we have enjoyed was a fragile and ephemeral thing at best. That not everybody, even though they may be good people, not everybody has our best intentions at heart. And that when put under great stress, even good people can make some pretty bad decisions at a moment's notice. And I was looking around and thought, you know, if things get really bad, I wanted a way to be able to protect myself, protect my family, protect my community, if I needed it, if things got really, really bad. And that's not to say that, you know, I expect the government to come storming in, or, you know, Nazis and white nationalists to come marching down my street, or to have roving bands of, you know, people burning and looting my shit, or to have the grocery store suddenly run out of food and I have nothing to feed my family with, so I have to go run through the woods and try and find something. I'm not anticipating any specific thing like that. That's the thing. A firearm isn't a single purpose thing. A firearm is a tool, much like this. This is also in a lot of ways a firearm, a very specific, very primitive firearm, but it uses a small chemical propellant and a spark to propel. Now there's a stack of nails in here. There we go. To propel a stack of nails one at a time out the front. That's all this is designed to do. This is a tool. Pretty recognizable as a nail gun. The function of this tool is to propel that bit of metal. The purpose of it, generally, is to connect pieces of wood together. I think this can do some light metal. And I'm sure you could be creative and find other things to do with this, but the function of this is to drive a piece of metal, to propel a piece of metal. This has a very, very similar function as magazine. This holds 10 rounds as per the law for the state of Maryland. And if I can't do what I need to do 10 rounds at a time, I'm probably in way over my head. But its purpose is to propel little bits of metal. This fires 9mm rounds out the front. And I've got a little reflex sight on top of it. Personally, I think I actually prefer the iron sights, but the function of this is to shoot a bullet. The purpose of this, what are you going to shoot at? Why? That's not up to this. That's up to you. You're going to take down the government. You're going to assassinate officials, rob a bank, protect your neighbor, protect your wife, protect the little lady across the street. You're going to hunt your next meal because the grocery stores are out of food. That's up to you. This is just a single function device. Certain chefs might call this a unitasker because it only does one thing. What you do with that one thing it does is up to you. Guns themselves are neither good nor bad. It is the people that wield them and their intentions that make them so. Now, does that mean that as an American with our Second Amendment right to these, does that mean that I should have something that shoots 5,000 giant flaming radioactive rounds that can punch through cars and bricks and people? And, should I have rocket launchers and tanks and machine guns? Not up for that debate right now. That's a separate issue. Whether these civilians should be as well armed as the military that protects/controls them, separate question. I have the right to protect myself. I have the right to protect my family. And that's as far as I'm going with that. This is just a tool. And I decided that I would rather have a tool and not need it than need a tool and not have it. If we're being honest with ourselves, yes, this is fun for abusing pieces of paper at a target range. It's actually a lot of fun. I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed abusing pieces of paper at a target range. Whether they're paper printed with a person shape, or with a deer shape, or a squirrel, or a zombie, or an alien, or just squares and circles to get good at punching holes in squares and circles. It's fun. And I recommend you try it, just if you never have. But these things are designed to inflict damage and harm. And I hope I never, ever, 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 ever have to use them in that way. Ever. On anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to kill anything. I would rather go to the grocery store than hunt a wild animal. I will if I have to, on any of those counts. But I really don't want to. I'm much happier not needing to do any of that. But if I ever needed to do any of that, for whatever horrible reason, I wanted to have a tool to accomplish that job. So I got one. And if you want to get one, I really recommend it. Where I live, just outside of DC in beautiful Prince George's County, there are several small arms ranges. Maryland Small Arms was the one I went to today. And they have been packed with a really wide range of people from what looked like all kinds of backgrounds. Not folks that you would expect to see when you think about or hear about gun owners. There are a couple of those types that might appear in the stereotypes of your mind. Can't say that they're not, but the vast majority of people are normal, boring, everyday people that are taking steps to protect themselves, to defend themselves, maybe engage in a sport or hobby that they find entertaining and fulfilling. I'm going to stick to motorcycles as far as a hobby, but I'm going to keep and train and practice with this tool so I get good at using this tool if I ever need to use this tool in a bad situation. So there you have it. This is the Ruger PC 9mm carbine. I like saying carbine because it amuses me so. It uses, this is the Security 9, Ruger Security 9 magazine. This little well right here can be converted to take Glock 9mm magazines, and in the rifle box that you buy from your favorite distributor, it actually comes with a little well that is super easy to convert. Maybe I will someday. Frankly, I don't really need to right now. Again, the iron sights, I actually really like them. I trained with the M16A4 with Uncle Sam, and before that, my late stepfather trained me over one summer on a whole bunch of different things, and this was 20 odd years ago, on pistols and shotguns and rifles and the lever action cowboy rifle, and even an original Thompson machine gun, the original Tommy gun. And what you see them doing all in Dick Tracy is almost impossible for a squishy 16-year-old me to do. So, but it was fun, and I learned a lot then. So, using the iron sights is very familiar. This reflex sight is okay. Good for short range. The farther away, you probably need to adjust it better than I've got. One cool thing about the carbine, the charging lever, you get it from the factory on this side. First thing I did was move it to this side so that I can charge it without needing to take my firing hand off. There's a little lever to hold back the bolt right there. This little flag tells me that it's empty. But one kind of interesting thing about this pin right here, you can pull up, and then it stores much shorter. This is called a takedown, and can't fire this because the bullet itself, this is a little target laser. This isn't an actual bullet. The bullet itself actually sits in here in the chamber, not in here. And it locks together, and then there you go. Full, ready to go rifle. Ta-da. This also, on the last round, after you fire your last round, holds the bolt back, lets you know that you're empty. You get to see a cool little cloud of smoke come out. Magazine release button comes on this side from the factory. I'm going to leave it there, but just push that button, and there you go. You can switch the button to the other side. I'm not sure why I would. Maybe I will, but this is the left-hand configuration. I don't know why they call it that. I'm right-handed. But there you go. Anyway, the Ruger PC carbine, a lot of fun. You should get one or arm yourself with whatever you are comfortable with, whatever you can afford. The institutions that we have entrusted to protect us, they ain't for you and they ain't for me. And if that hasn't been more clear now for some of us more privileged folk, I don't know what to tell you. But we keep us safe. We're all we've got. So do what you can, help where you can, from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. About as simple as that. I hope you are safe and well-fed and loved wherever you are. I miss you terribly. I can't wait to see you again. Let's hope this vaccine garbage is all these eggheads crack it up to be. Let me know when it's done. I'm going to be first in line, or at least third. So I can't wait to see you again. Good luck.